With 2 rocks firmly strapped to his hands, he stepped onto his skateboard and embarked on an adventure he could never have imagined. He opened his arms freely, as if he was one with the beauty in front of him. A gap opened up in his closed heart. His heartbeat and the sound of the skateboard's wheels were intertwined. This was the moment he truly broke free from the shackles of life and felt the true meaning of life. Not long ago, Walter was just an ordinary middle-aged man, running his daily routine in the orbit of life. His job was to develop the negatives submitted by the world's major contract photographers day in and day out, earning a meager income that was barely enough to make ends meet. With a weak and shy personality, he can't even say a simple hello to his favorite female colleague, Cheryl, and love seems to be a star out of reach for him. However, the gears of fate quietly begin to turn. The company is bought out and the paper media is about to be replaced by an electronic version. In the midst of all this turmoil, Walter receives a handwritten letter from master photographer Sean about the 25th negative, which is described as one of the best negatives of all time and one that contains the true meaning of life. It was supposed to be the cover of the magazine's final issue, but it disappeared. It is this negative that turns Walter's life upside down. In order to find the negative, Walter has to embark on an adventure to find Sean. He boards a helicopter and heads for a ship in the depths of the vast ocean. In the rough sea, he jumps in the wrong direction and crashes into the sea, having to fight a shark to the death. Fortunately, he is rescued by a life raft, but Sean has already left for Iceland. He trades his beloved doll for a skateboard with a local kid and continues to chase after Sean. At the critical moment of the volcanic eruption, he witnesses Sean recording the shocking moment on the airplane and nearly gets engulfed in volcanic ash himself, but is saved in time. Subsequently, Walter can only continue to follow in Sean's footsteps. Deep into the Himalayas, here he receives a special local blessing and sees a huge waterfall hanging from a cliff face. At an altitude of 18,000 feet, he felt the insignificance of human beings, and in the process of searching for Sean, he gradually recovered his once spirited self. When he finally meets Sean, he learns that negative 25 is in his discarded wallet. Despite the loss of the negative, Walter is not the same man he once was back in New York. Walter suffers the same setbacks. He is fired from his company. He is also saddened by his love life when he mistakenly believes that Cheryl has a new love interest. However, he eventually recovers his wallet and the negatives. When he hands over the negatives to his boss, he is no longer as coy as before, but brave enough to speak his mind. After this series of adventures and challenges, Walter is completely changed. His resume is no longer blank, but full of excitement and courage. He also finally found the courage to confess his love to Cheryl and solve the previous misunderstanding. The cover of the final issue of the magazine is the silhouette of Walter focusing on his work, as if it is the best interpretation of his extraordinary experience. The movie Daydreamers is like a mirror that reflects the lives of most of us. We are often like Walter, weaving beautiful fantasies in our daydreams. But we are stuck in front of reality. But Walter's story tells us that as long as we have the courage to take the first step and break our inner chains, those difficulties that we once thought were insurmountable will become stepping stones on the road to growth.